for anyone that's done the 7-day recruiting school, there's a Josh Coates. He's been working with like several of the top Beachbody coaches, the top 10 Beachbody coaches. He's like a prospecting guru. I guess he works with the John C. Maxwell team. If you didn't see it in the group, he's doing at 9:00. He's going to do an exclusive with us for just the recruiting school. They posted a video, I think, about it in the group. So check out the details. You can just search for Josh Coates. Hey, Pete. And it's that, I don't know. What did you guys think of that group? Did anybody? I don't know if it will be recorded. I don't know. Do you have a call at 9, girl?
No, it's just a lot to do, like 2 hours of calls back to back at night. So like I want to get on. I'm just wondering if it's going to be recorded.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think so. Well, he's going live in the group.
Oh.
So I guess it will be recorded because it'll be in the group for you to watch after. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm hoping. I'm going to ask them if they'll leave that group open because I'd like to watch some of the videos and get caught up. I'm hoping that they'll be like, they're not going to be sticklers about like closing it down right away. Cause I know I'm sure the content is really good. I haven't been able to watch it, like their videos, but I really want to, but I'm like, I only have 2 weeks to watch the GoPro mastery stuff. So I'm trying to watch all that before.
Like be open too. Cause I knew that was a bad week for me too. So it's like, honestly, I didn't watch everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask them. I don't see why they wouldn't want to like keep it open, but you know, they were asking to like they were going to create a document, I think, with all the videos or something, but I'm just going to ask them if they'll keep the group open because I thought the content was really good. And if
that's cool, Marissa, because I was hoping that they would too. I think I'm caught up on all the videos, but I just want to go back through one more time and make sure.
Like I said, I think it would be beneficial for them to keep it open. And if they create a document with all the links to the posts, then that will be even easier now to navigate. Cause I was like getting overwhelmed with I was like, whoa, there's like a tracker and there's this and that. I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on in here. So, but I know the content is good because these girls are awesome. So anyway, I'll ask them. I'm sure they'll be fine with that. I would totally be cool to do something like that with them in the future again and just, you know, like, again, save the content or whatever, because I really liked how they had us create our list of things that we liked about coaching and then like post something from that list every day. And basically, you know, that should be like in your mind, you know, you should be thinking about what can I post today about like coaching, not necessarily saying I'm so grateful for coaching because, but just saying, you know, what it's done for you in a way that's like breadcrumbing it. So it's not like so in your face. Like the number one thing I love about my job is, you know, I thought that it was really good that Jamie Shepard, you know, talked about that. She's doing really well. She's doing really well with her elite points and in her team, and she's growing really fast. So she's only been a coach for a couple of years. Anyway, as far as like what's going on in the Beachbody community, I'm sure you guys know the Beachbody Health Bet is coming up in January 9th through February 5th. I've started to kind of market for that already. I did a post the other day. Feel free to check that out. My image, I think I need to work on the image a little bit. I had too much going on. Like I asked like a designer and he's like, no, that doesn't look good. But the post was good. And then if you're on the Beachbody Champions page, Christina Delgado posted like her sample post of what she posted on her wall. And you can also check it out on her wall. She posted it last night. I think they're doing some type of social media training in that group and teaching people how to post about the upcoming health bet and take advantage of that. That's pretty much all we have going on right now. I think as far as like contests and stuff, I'm finally caught up on national wake up calls. And I wanted to quickly do a little training and just talk a little bit about what I've been learning and what I've been listening to. I didn't go to GoPro in Las Vegas because just various reasons that it wasn't the right thing for me to do. But I got to transfer my ticket from a live ticket to a streaming ticket. So I get to access all of the GoPro Mastery content from the comfort of my home for 2 weeks. So I've been listening to it. I've gotten through about the first, I think there was like 3-hour session on Thursday. There was a from 9 to 4 on Friday, and then from 6 to 9 on Friday, and from same thing on Saturday. I've gotten through probably about 5 hours of the content, maybe ish. I haven't gotten to like Tony Robbins or Sir Richard Branson, but I listened to a girl named Mel Robbins, who's built a very successful business with her husband, and they had a social media panel, and Eric Worre talked a lot. And I kind of put together just a little slideshow for what I've been learning, and I'm just quickly going to go over that and not spend a lot of time on it, and then we can kind of dig into what we're doing in the team, and just make it open for people if they want to talk about maybe conversations that they're having and they need advice with that, or if they're struggling with inviting, we can talk about what everybody's struggling with, and we can kind of just brainstorm. I put together a little presentation because I thought this was really cool. So I'm going to share with you guys. This is like literally how the GoPro event started. This was like my favorite event that I've ever been to ever in the history of Beachbody, just because it's not necessarily Beachbody focused. It's just entrepreneur focused and network marketing focused. And it really teaches you primarily the thing that they talk about the most in this is that this business is 80% mindset. So we talk about the fact that results like fitness, health and fitness results is 100% mindset, and like 70 to 80% nutrition, and 20 to 30% fitness. Well, being successful in this business is 100% or like 80% mindset and 20% skill set. What I feel that we've done on this team, and what a lot of people do, is they focus on the skill set, and they're like, I really need to learn how to invite, or I really need to learn how to do this. But in reality, their mindset is not there. Am I frozen? Shit. Did I freeze? Am I back? Damn it. I froze. Okay, so I don't know where you guys heard me from, but basically, if you have amazing skills and you're so awesome at inviting, and you're so awesome at closing, and you're so awesome at enrolling coaches, but your mindset is not there, you're only going to get yourself so far in this business, because more of it rides on believing that you can do this, believing in yourself, and believing in the vision and the mission of the team and the company versus just like learning the skills. So I think that that's a mistake that I've made as a leader, is to focus more on like teaching people the skills and giving people this perfect little system that's going to work, versus boosting people up and telling them that they can do this and believing in them before they can believe in themselves, and showing up with enthusiasm and energy and being excited about what we're doing and creating a vision for our team. So I want to share this with you guys because I thought this was really cool. And they're just some cool statistics. I don't want to freak you out because it is very network marketing focused, but I just thought this was really cool for us to see. So these are some that Eric Worre shared in the beginning of the presentation. And facts about network marketing this is the sales trends from 2011 to 2015. In the moment, it's at $183 billion annual. There's $183 billion in annual sales in network marketing at this time. And in the United States alone, that consists of 36.1 billion of that 183 billion. The global sales force that's the same thing. It's 37.7, which is weird because it says 36.1 and then 37.7. I don't know why there's that inconsistency, but it's close enough, right? Or maybe it's because it's North America and that includes Canada. I don't know. So anyway, that's $37.7 billion industry in the United States. And the sales force makes up a total of 103 million people. So 103 million people are currently in the network marketing industry in some way, shape, or form, whether it's just, being a wholesale buyer or building a business through it, which I thought was pretty cool because it's not just something that is just, there and it's going to go away. This is something that has longevity and, especially being paired with a company like Beachbody and, supporting people with health and fitness. I mean, because that's always going to be something that people are going to need. So the gender makeup of direct sellers and network marketing almost across the board is like set on average 75% females, which if you notice in our company, almost all the top coaches are females and there's rarely one male in there. So that's pretty cool for us. That means that we have the ability to be more successful with this. And here's it broken down by product and category. If you see, wellness makes up 33% of the products in network marketing, which is the higher percentage of than the other ones. And then this was an interesting fact to me. 71% of women who earn a 6-figure income or more do so in network marketing. So I thought that was pretty cool because, I mean, there are just some facts, some statistics about the industry and where it's going. And I wanted to share that with you. So that was all I did really. But if you guys want me to, I'm happy to like go over some of the stuff that I am learning through the GoPro information, because it's really a lot of it is really just it's about mindset. And I really get fired up when I've been listening to it, because I'm like, damn. It kind of convicts me of what I've been doing wrong as a leader, or not wrong, but maybe just not doing the best. And it also it helps me to, it kind of helps to build more belief in me in the business. I put 2017 on that anyway, whatever. Okay. So does anybody have questions about that or any shares about that? I thought it was pretty cool. Nobody? Okay. So tell us more. You mean more from like the Eric Worre stuff? Okay, you like it? I didn't feel like this wasn't going to be like applicable to people. All right, so I'll kind of talk about like basically what he said. So there's different people that I've been listening to. Eric Worre, after he's shared these statistics, he talked about the fact that millennials, which are from the age of 19 to 35, make up 70% of US distributors in the network marketing industry. So if you're thinking about who you're going to attract, it's going to be that's 70% of the distributors. And I tend to feel that is, in general, maybe a little bit higher than that is who I recruit. Let's see. There's 3 main objectives for someone to be a professional network marketer. Now, the whole point of this GoPro event and Eric Worre is he's trying to teach people to not go out and be unprofessional in this industry, because we can really screw it up for everyone by spamming people all the time on our Facebook pages, by, doing those group threads and, like, I'm sure you guys get them on Instagram. I get them all the time on Instagram from like It Works people. And like, they don't even ask me like anything like, hi, how are you? They're just like, hey, I saw that you liked my post. Do you want some wraps? It's like, dude, seriously? And I'm like, no, thank you, always. But they're giving us a bad name. So his point is that we need to be professionals in this industry, and we need to keep holding it up to such a high esteem, because it really is a professional business. He said there's 3 main objectives for someone to be a professional network marketer. Number 1 is $1 million mindset. He talked about this for probably like at least 20 minutes. Just developing mental toughness, the ability to think like an entrepreneur, the ability to overcome obstacles, manage your emotions, and take charge of your mind. So he talks a lot about, his whole thing was like turning obstacles and adversity into opportunity. Instead of seeing, maybe you're someone who struggled with conversations in the beginning and you are, you like failed a lot and you couldn't get anyone to say yes. Then instead of taking that as an obstacle and being like, oh, this isn't for me, or I'm not very good at closing people, or I'm not very good at conversations, you learn from that obstacle and you create it into an opportunity for you to grow as a leader and to become better. He spent a ton of time on this. He said the many problems of people is they think they shouldn't have problems. Problems are just an opportunity for you to get better, wiser, and more resourceful. Most people are thinking like an employee. And this was kind of in our, our business opportunity presentation that we were doing for a while. We are trained since the age of 2 years old to think like an employee. And they train us in school. Basically, when you know you're going to have a test, then you study for the test and you pass the test, and then you never look at that information again because you just want to get past the test. And you only do it because you're told that you have to pass this test and you have to get certain grades to move on to the next level. He spent a lot of time talking about the fact that what about if you were, in third grade and you were like, I really want to go on to fourth grade, and all of the adults around you were telling you, no, you shouldn't go on to fourth grade. You should just stay in third grade, like your mom and your teachers and your dad and everybody else. Then you would accept that as the norm, and then you wouldn't try to go on to the fourth grade. And so this is what society is right now. We're taught to be entrepreneurs. We're bred to be entrepreneurs. We're bred to be employees since the time that we're 2 years old. They tell us what to do and we do it. And then what happens is we come into the network marketing industry and we are like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's not how this works. We're not supposed to be in this business to be told what to do. We're supposed to be in this business to be a leader, to be an entrepreneur, to be creative, to come up with our own ideas, to think forward, to be better, and to basically to be creative. So if you want to be successful in this business, the bottom line is you need to stop thinking like an employee and you need to start learning to think differently. So instead of being taught to do what you're told and having the external pressures that teach us how to operate, we have to stop doing that. Let's see. Let me read more in here. He says, at work, they'll tell you what to do, and if you don't follow it, there are consequences. So how many times can you show up late before it's an issue? How many weeks can you take off without letting them know about it before it becomes a problem? You learn to play the game, you do as you're told, you don't oversleep, you wait for instructions, someone will be there to supervise you, and then you go into action. This is how most of us have been trained, and then we join network marketing. We love not having a supervisor or people watching us, no consequences if we didn't take action. So instead of taking action, we decide not to take action because there's no consequences if we don't, right? And this is, this is the problem with, I'm going to mute everybody's lines so that when people are getting on, it's not distracting. This is the problem with people coming into this business and thinking like an employee and still having that employee mindset and applying it to their business. And then they're not seeing success and they're not understanding why, but it's all about their belief and it's all about the mindset. So you have to, you have to go outside of yourself and stop waiting for your upline to be the one that's going to teach you everything that you need to know in order to be successful. And stop waiting for somebody to give you instructions. Stop waiting for the company to solve your problem. Stop waiting for there to be consequences when you don't take action. Stop waiting altogether because that's thinking like an employee. If you do that, if you think like an employee in this business and you sit there and you wait for your upline or the company or whoever it is to teach you, instead of going out and taking charge of your business and being the CEO of your company and learning it on your own, you can still make the same amount of money as you made at your job. But you probably won't make more. Now, if you're ever getting mad at your upline for every reason or for any reason, or the company for any reason, then you're thinking like an employee because you're waiting for support to show up. And you need to learn to think differently. So be resourceful on your own. Be an end in yourself. Learn that a problem is an opportunity for you to solve, not to complain about. If there is an issue, it is time to go and flex your muscles, not look for someone else to fix it. Employees are looking for structure. Entrepreneurs create structure for their team to engage in. So now in your team, you may have someone who is in the employee mindset. That's okay. Then you need to give them a lot of structure. And then maybe that will lead them to eventually starting to think like an entrepreneur. And they can still earn, like he said, an income thinking like an employee. So you still can create that structure for the people that need that, and you can advance them to a certain level. But if you really want to be a leader and you really want to be an entrepreneur and you really want to be really, really, really successful in this business, you have to start changing the way that you're thinking. So provide, employees, okay, this was like super like awesome thing that he talked about is employees basically will give it 2 weeks. Employees are set at the 2-week 2-week range. So think about it. We get paid for the work that we do every 2 weeks, right? Maybe sometimes you get paid every week, but for most places you get paid every 2 weeks. So an employee minded person, which we all are when we start because we've been raised up to be that way, unless maybe we were raised by entrepreneurs and they really instilled this belief and mindset into us from childhood and we think differently already, which is going to be the rare find, then we will go to work on network marketing. And if we don't get paid within 2 weeks, it's over. Because, you know, we were used to getting paid for our work. So they want to go back to what they think is security, but really it's just familiarity. It is to be employed and controlled by another human being and getting equal pay for the work they put in. But so when they join network marketing after 2 weeks, they're like, where's my money? Where are my benefits? I've been working hard for 2 weeks. The employee-minded person around you will say, you've been working how long? And you're making how much? And they'll say that people are taking advantage of you. And if you listen to them and you start thinking like them, which you already do anyway because you've been trained like this your whole life, then you can easily step away from what you want to create in this business. As entrepreneurs, we're creators, we're makers of things, we're fixers of problems. We can control our life, and we're willing to risk the time, money, heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears, knowing and believing and having faith that ultimately is going to pay off, that it will lead to us becoming stronger, bolder, more powerful for ventures that can come even after that. So maybe this is your first venture. Maybe it's your first venture failure. Don't let that failure define you. It's a stepping stone in the process for you to go straight to the top. You have to understand that you're going to be underpaid for a significant amount of time. Then you will be fairly well paid for a little bit of time, and then you will be overpaid for a very long time. But what happens with employees is they won't give up that time to be underpaid. Uh-oh. It froze again. Where did it freeze at? Are you guys digging this or no? Because I can stop. Yeah?
You froze like when you talked about where you get like overpaid for a little bit of time, so you have to be willing to be underpaid. Kind of stop there.
Okay.
They're not willing to be underpaid.
Okay, so employees won't give it the time to be underpaid to make it to the point of being overpaid. And we're all employees. We're all employee mindset. We all start that way. So everybody has to be treated as if that's how they are because that's how they are in the beginning. So he went around the room and he asked the average investment, or he mentioned that the average investment in a new business is $65,000. And he asked the people in the room, how long do you think it takes for you to get back that money? Or when do you expect to earn that money back? And basically people were saying an average of 1 to 2 years. Some said more, some said less, some said like 5, some said, but the majority of people was like average like 1 to 2 years. But the same people will be willing to invest less than $1,000 to join an MLM, and within 3 months they're suicidal. But we have more support, we have more value, we have more products and regulation services, we have more people to be our friends, we have more of everything. And yet, if we don't get an immediate return, we're ready to give up. They'll do it for 90 days, we'll talk to everyone they know, that means 4 people. They'll do 12 invites, and if they don't get their money back, within 30 days, they're ready to quit. And this is so common, you guys, and it's common for people. I mean, it's happened to me so many times. And he even talked about somebody came up to him and said, my company's compensation plan doesn't really allow people, and holy shit, there's still a lot more I could talk about that he went on and on and on, but I'll cut it off in a bit. So he was saying, someone came up to him at the 7-figure summit. They had like a 6 and 7 figure summit. So the only way you could go to that is if you were earning a 6 or 7 figure income. And somebody came up to him and said, our compensation plan in our company doesn't allow us to help our, distributors earn their investment back within 30 days. And I'm seeing all these people posting on social media about how they're like marketing themselves as like, I'll help you get your investment back within 30 days. How can I compete with that? And Eric Worre was like, you don't tell people that they're going to earn their investment back in 30 days. You don't think of that short-term, narrow-minded, narrow-sighted thing that happens in this industry. You think you have to look for the people that are going to see the long-term in this business, because the people that are only going to be around for 30 days, and if they don't get their money back and you guarantee that they're going to get their money back in 30 days, then they're going to be out already, because you set that expectation in their mind that that's what was going to happen for them. And you know what? I have done that with people. I said that. I've been like, well, my goal is to help you earn your initial investment back within 30 days. But that's all going to depend on you. That's going to depend on what work you put in and whether you're being productive in your activity versus active, because there's a difference between being productive, i.e. meaning inviting people to this business and getting in front of more people, versus active, i.e. looking at how many people are liking and commenting on your things on Facebook and scrolling news feeds and looking for people that are, wanting to do your challenge group. Now, of course, there's going to be some research that you're going to need to do to find people, but if you're not inviting at least 2 new people to a conversation with you every day, you're going to get nowhere. You're just going to get nowhere in this business. So it doesn't mean that you're inviting 2 new people to start a challenge group or to join your coaching opportunity. Eventually you are. One thing that I've done that's really helped me, and I can't believe I never thought of this before, but for whatever reason, I'm really inspired right now, is I have conversations going with a lot of people. And what I would do is I would just like have my inbox be my conversations, and I use my Google Streak, and then that's how I follow up with people. What I started doing was I started a master list. So what I'm doing is people that I've like, instead of before I would think like, this person really sounds like they'd be really good at coaching and they have a need for it, and they already shared that with me, but I haven't gotten to that point in the conversation because I'm still forming them, and then I forget about them, and then like that conversation like goes nowhere, and then I don't invite them. So what I started doing is writing down people's names on my master list. And now I don't know why I never did this before. Like, this is so stupid and lame. Like, why did I not ever do this? So I'm writing down the names, like for coaching, free group, whatever it is that I'm inviting them to. And then after I've had like a conversation with them, and maybe I've let it go for a little while, and then I'm reaching back out and I'm saying, I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I'm looking to expand or I said something along the lines of, I really enjoyed chatting with you, and after talking with you, I think that, have you ever considered doing what I do as a coach? I'm like, because, you said you'd never have any money for traveling and you really want to travel more. And this could be a way for you to earn an extra side income to be able to do that. And I'm looking to expand my team, and I've really enjoyed talking to you. Would you be open to just getting on the phone? Or I say, if I were to set up a time and day to chat with you on the phone, would you be willing to chat with me about it? And you know what? I'm getting a lot of no's. Like, I'm getting people saying, like, one girl was already like, I don't have time. The other girl was like, I'm not extroverted enough. And I'm just like, but you know what? Those are seeds that I'm planting, and they're going to be watching what I'm doing. And eventually, like Stephanie Kaufman took her a year to say, 10 months to say yes. Eventually those people are, I'm going to keep in touch with them, but I'm not going to keep in touch with them and say, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? I'm just going to say, hey, how are you? What's going on? Till eventually they're going to watch what I'm doing, and they're going to be like, there's going to become a point where I'm going to say, you know what, do you want to come? We're having a Zoom chat like this week about the coaching opportunity. I know we talked about this before and you said you didn't have time. How is it now? And maybe they've been watching me and they've been seeing my lifestyle, and they're like, holy shit, I really want to do that. And that's why you need to be sharing those coaching breadcrumbs every day, because you're gaining credibility with those people that you're asking to join your team. If you're not sharing those breadcrumbs every day about coaching and why it's awesome and why you're enjoying it so much and the things that it's creating positive in your life and how it's creating passion and confidence and friendships and health and all these things, then when you ask somebody about coaching, they're going to be like, well, I just have no idea like why I would even want to do that, because they have no idea what you even do because you never share about it. So we're really good as a team at sharing about health and fitness. we're not very good as a team at sharing about coaching, which is why I love that 7-day recruiting school. And I'll be honest, I'm not that great at sharing about coaching. I don't do it every day. So this was something that kind of kicked me in the pants to say, like, I need to start doing it every day. That was a little side note, but that's what I've been doing. And I'm committing myself now to going back to my list. And when it's time to do my invites, because we've been posting our invites in the team group, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to go like my next 2 names on my list. And then I invite my 2 new coaches. And I'm getting to the point where I have a list of people that I think would make great coaches that I've had a conversation with, and I'm going to reach back out to them and I'm going to invite them to coaching. Now, if somebody says no to coaching, you can always reduce them down to being a customer. You could say, well, okay, that's cool. No problem. How would you feel about just joining my, online accountability group? And is that something that you could use in your life? And you could always put them in your customer base. And that's another way to turn them into coaches, because once they've experienced the products, they become an advocate of the products. They fall in love with the products. They fall in love with their experience in the challenge group with you and having you as their coach. Then they have the potential to become a coach anyway. So that is my spiel on that. But back to Eric Worre's stuff about don't put the expectation on them that they're going to have their money back in 30 days. You need to put the expectation on a brand new coach or someone that you're prospecting for your team that if they work their ass off for years, then will they be able to turn their sweat equity into something of value for them and their families. So you have to work when no one tells you. And this business can be extremely lonely. And that's another reason why it's really great to plug into your team and whatever they're doing, because you don't feel like you're an island trying to build this business on your own. We have to go home and build it alone. We don't build it in groups of people. We have to convince ourselves to do one more call, to talk to one more prospect, to create one more training video, to post in one more group. But employees think we're sick because our passion never turns off. So we could be at a Christmas party and then we just be talking about how passionate we are about this, and employees are like, ugh. And they're so turned off by it because that is not what they're doing with their life. But we are influencers of people. We are creators of value. We rescue people from their lives. But in order to do that, we have to develop the mental toughness, strength, and power to get past our own obstacles. So for example, an obstacle could be that you get a lot of skepticism of prospects. So they're not interested in the business opportunity and they're very skeptic. You need to be so strong in your belief that you need to be stronger in your beliefs about this business than they are in theirs. And you need to become skilled in having a conversation about their misconceptions and build rapport. How do you say that word? Rapport? Rapport. Thank you. I spelled it right and I couldn't say it. Yes, build rapport. If they have so say they've had a negative experience with network marketing before, find out what happened and guide them through it. Skepticism doesn't hurt you, it helps you. If everyone wanted to do this business, if everyone was like, yes, sign me up for a network marketing business right now, it would be over. It would kill everything. But you need to have emotional strength to be great in network marketing. The fact that it's so hard is what makes it great and gives us the chance to earn a lot of money doing what we love. So we have to develop emotional strength and be stronger than our circumstances. Now, there's another one that he talked about. Some guy was inconsistent with his prospecting, and basically what it came down to is he went through a very emotional divorce and he hadn't let go of it, and he was still holding on to it. And so when he was talking in a conversation, he wasn't enthusiastic and excited about what he was doing. So he was not really excited about going in and prospecting. Everyone is going to go through pain in life, but you have to decide not to live in a state of suffering. You can be in pain, but you don't have to be in suffering. Suffering is a choice. So instead of beating ourselves up every day, we have to allow ourselves to be free and turn obstacles into opportunities to become mentally strong and tough. obstacles are a gift. So here's a quote that he said, and I'll just end it with this because there's a lot more, but I don't want to keep going because then it's going to be like landing in a weird spot. Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in our way becomes our way. So at the end of the day, this content is, oh my gosh, like so good, you guys. So my recommendation is if you can't go to the live event next year, to be willing to invest in just the live streaming content. You can actually stream it while the event is going on. And like I said, with mine, I was able to stream it for 2 weeks after because I changed my live ticket into a live streaming ticket. But at the end of the day, like this whole first part is really about the fact that you have to not get knocked down by the negative things that happen to you in this business. And I'm not going to lie, I've been a victim of it. Like I'm not a victim, but I have been someone who, like, this year I had a couple of coaches that I really liked as people, and I really, really wanted them to build a business with me because I liked them. And I thought it would be really fun to be in their life more, and that's just how we are. And I got really hurt when they quit. I took it very personally, very, very personally. And I kind of didn't even want to invite people to coaching anymore because it was like, the people that I like and I want to do this business with me, they quit. That was like my reality. And that was the story that I was creating around it. And I'm over that story. I'm going into 2017. What I feel like for my vision for myself and for this team is I just want to help people have this life of freedom. I've seen how this business has 100% completely transformed, flip-flopped my life. I mean, just the things that I get to do on a daily basis, being home and not having to be in the operating room delivering anesthesia for patients undergoing surgery. I mean, that right there in itself is like negative, I mean, you're going into the freaking hospital. I know, Jessica, you're a CRNA, but you know what I mean? And the fact that I can, like today, I don't work more than 4 to 6 hours a day. And that's not every day. And today I didn't even get up until 8:00 in the morning. I did a couple of blog posts. I walked my dog and listened to personal development. I checked my emails. I checked into my groups. I checked my inbox. I started conversations. I answered all of my messages. I took a break. So I worked let me just tell you, I worked for an hour on my blog posts. I worked from 11:30 to 2:30, which is 4 hours. I took a break, went to the dog park, ate, checked some inbox messages, and now here I am. And I prepared for this team call a little bit. So today, actually, Mondays are like the busiest days for me. But never in a million years when I was doing anesthesia would I just be like able to wake up at 8:00, take my dog for a walk, like listen to PD and be like cruising around the neighborhood. Like, here I am just doing my little walk and listening to my personal development and taking a break at 3:00 in the afternoon and taking my dog to the dog park and like making food. I mean, none of this was, and I know it's like stupid, but it's the simple things that this business has created for me. I want to give that gift to as many people as possible. That's what my vision is for this year, for 2017. So I'm going to invite a shit ton of people to this opportunity. It's probably going to be my largest recruiting year, and I'm probably going to be recruiting a lot more coaches that are really serious about this business because my mindset about it is different. And the person that I am right now today, from all the personal development and growth that I've done is different than the person I was when I started this business 5 years ago. So that means that I'm going to be attracting different people to me. I'm going to be attracting a better version of people. And if I'm not, then I'm just turning them away and I'm not enrolling them. Because I'm turning people away at this point, just so you guys know. Like, I'm very much focusing on quality people that I want to bring on board to my team. So I needed to slow down my year of recruiting in order to figure out what the hell I was doing wrong and why I wasn't, enjoying what I was doing and why my business wasn't growing the way I wanted it to grow and why I wasn't liking it. And now I feel like I've done that and I'm ready to go back out there and invite people to say yes to this incredible opportunity that gives them the gift of freedom and finances. That's my vision. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me? Because that's where I'm going. That's all I got. So we can open up the floor for people that want to share or have questions. And if nothing, then we can just spend the last 15 minutes going over if people have like conversations they want to talk about or advice that they want to get. Do that. Of course. Go.
I've been pretty quiet lately on the calls, but I'm pretty pumped that I shared in Team Limitless today. But for anyone that didn't listen, Marissa and I had a call. I don't know, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, the call where you were like, that's why you're not getting any coaches. Because I have been recruiting or enrolling I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 people in the last few months, per month. And I wasn't signing any coaches. I really haven't signed a lot of coaches recently. And I'm I don't know. Every time I talk to them, they're I can't do what you do. And I don't know. I got really demotivated on enrolling coaches. I wasn't trying that hard. The few people that I did try were just saying no. And I was whatever. And I was kind of getting deflated with where I was. And then Marissa and I just having a discussion, I realized what I was doing wrong. And that's what I shared in Limitless today is that I'm great at solving people's struggle with health and fitness, but I wasn't even trying to dig into their personal life at all and form them. I wasn't forming at all. I didn't have to. People were just coming at me I have a problem. Can you solve it? And I was sure can. And I would just answer them. And I just didn't really care about their personal life. And she was well, that's why you're not enrolling coaches. You don't have a struggle to solve for them. And it kind of clicked. And I was a little resistant at first. I'm that's awkward. I don't want to ask them about their personal life. And it's weird. And I don't really care. I hate to say that out loud, but I'm such a introvert and I'm just so quiet that it was outside of my box to try and friend all these people and get to know them. And that's very uncomfortable for me because I've always been the person that's I've had 1 or 2 friends my whole life. I'm not a person that has a lot of friends. So it's very uncomfortable for me to try and balance getting to know all these people and remembering all these things. But I started to do it slowly. And at first it was very awkward. I'm oh, tell me about your kids. What do you do for a living? And it seemed so awkward to me, but I just kept doing it. And then this week I felt more comfortable and I was really trying to listen for little snippets of things that I could ask them about. And I asked 2 people today about the coaching opportunity because I was listening, because I was forming, and I was able to say, one person mentioned that she still has 4 to 5 years of schooling and she's got 4 freaking kids. And I was wow. I was do you have student loans by any chance? And she was do I? And she went off on all these loans that she has. And I was how would you like a way to pay off your loans while you get fit and healthy? And she was tell me more. And I was oh shit, this works. Wow, that was easy. It kind of built my confidence. And then I had another call with someone and I did it again. And I listened to what she was telling me and I picked out a struggle that she probably had in life and how coaching could fill that need. And I said, would you be interested in hearing more? Bam, it happened again. She was I sure would. So I went from literally everybody giving me objections. I can't do that. I can't do what you do. No, I'm not there yet. No. To really listening and just picking out little pieces and how I can solve a problem for them. And it was really just as simple as that. Now, have they actually signed up to be an official coach? Not yet, but I'm super freaking stoked that instead of getting, no, I can't do that, or no, I don't want to hear anymore. Instead, everyone that I'm approaching is saying, yeah, I'd be interested to hear more. Tell me. So that was kind of a huge breakthrough for me personally. And I figure if I was totally missing the boat on that, maybe somebody else is too. It's so easy to go to our comfort zone of fitness and kind of forget about asking about their life so that we can solve, an even bigger goal of theirs. And the answer being coaching.
So thank you for sharing that. That's a really good share. I'm just gonna go and break it down into like a little bit more detail for people that maybe need that. Is Steph get them on the phone and say, like, just have this like spiel that she would go through, like asking them questions only about health and fitness. So
I'll say that part real quick because you were like, what? Like I would get people on the phone and I'd be like, thanks so much for getting on the phone. So first off, just kind of tell me a little bit about it yourself. Where did you start? What's worked for you? What hasn't? And it was literally all fitness based. And Marissa was like, that's how you start. And I was like, yeah. She's like, you don't ask them like, how are you doing today? How's your family? And I'm like, no. But I was enrolling people.
Okay, so we're talking because Stephanie has a very high retail business, meaning she enrolls a lot of Success Club points every month. So it's very, very high in retail. She earns a significant income already, but not a lot of it is coming from team volume, from building a team, because she doesn't have an extremely yet successful team. She has a few, she has leaders and she has people that are rising up, and it takes time, but because she hasn't, really started focusing on that. And her whole thing was like, oh, I'm not good at leading, so I'm not going to talk to people about coaching. And then when we talked and she was like, yeah, I ask people and they say no. And then she was like, yeah, literally like that would be the whole conversation. And then she would get off the phone. She wouldn't like get to know them, and nothing, no judgment here. This is a learning experience for everyone. So when we talked, I was like, all right, well, when I get on the phone with someone, first of all, I'm going to encourage you, if you're not, when you're working with someone who's cold market or like lukewarm market or warm market, someone that you haven't spoken to in a really long time, or maybe they went to high school with you, so they're kind of like warm market, but you don't really know them, I highly recommend getting somebody on the phone before you enroll them in the challenge group, because it's going to help you learn if you really want to work with this person, because maybe you're just not going to like them. And I've had that experience. Or maybe they're not going to like you, and you can find that out right away. Maybe they're not really going to be serious, and they're not even going to be willing to get on the phone with you. So I get people on the phone, and I know that they've been talking a lot about this on the national wake-up calls recently, been saying, like, use the phone, call people. Even Eric Worre was like, the phone is your friend. The social media panel, they're like, I get them on the phone. I pull them off social media. I get them on the phone. And when I get them on the phone, and you can simply get them on the phone by saying, this is an Eric Worre thing, if I were to set up a day and time for us to get on the phone and you'd be able to ask me all of your questions and pick my brain and I can give you all the answers, would you be willing to set up a time to chat with me? Would you? That's an Eric Worre GoPro thing. And it works. It works. And some people have been tweaking. Who was it that I was talking to that took with that and like tweaked it? Was it, I can't remember. Someone tweaked it. Kristen Lambert. It's too bad she's not on the call, but she tweaked it. I told her to read that book, and she's actually getting people now that are interested in talking to her about coaching or talking to her on the phone more. And then when I get them on the phone, it's a, hey, how are you? And if it's in the middle of the day, it's like, are you off work today? Boom, I'm already talking to them about what they do for work if it's in the middle of the day. And then if it's like in the evening, I just be like, oh, how was your day at work? And then what do you do for work? And, oh, what do you like the most about it? Oh, what do you not like about it? So you're already looking for, work things that are, inconsistencies or things that they don't like. And then you can get family into there. And then I'll talk a little bit about health and fitness and, okay, what things after I've like formed them already. I've really gotten to know, or I feel like I've gotten to know them. So the first part of the conversation is just like forming them and getting to know them, not health and fitness related. And then I'll talk about health and fitness and be like, so, okay, well, what are your goals? What kind of things have worked for you in the past? What do you like to do to work out? Would you need more help with nutrition? I mean, all those questions. And then at the end of the conversation, I close it out again on a personal note. Always. That's always how I do it. And I didn't learn that, I don't think, like from someone. I think it became a natural thing for me to do. Maybe I learned it from listening to Danny Johnson's CDs, 6 Figures in 6 Months, which are really amazing. I have them in my Dropbox for anybody that wants them. And I find that in that conversation, I find their need for coaching right then and there. And I already have it. And then as I'm going through the challenge group, I support them. I'm not like pushing coaching on them or anything. But then at the end of the challenge group, if they've engaged, if they've liked their Shakeology, if they've liked the program, if they've gotten good results, if they really like their experience in there, then of course I'm going to ask them, have you ever considered doing what I do? And it's always going to be something like, you've done a really awesome job. Tell them why they've done so great, why you think they'd make a great coach, and have you ever considered? Very important words, not would you be interested? Because if you say, are you interested? And they say no, that's the end of the conversation. Have you ever considered? And they say no, they just haven't considered it. It doesn't mean that they're not interested. And then you, again, could set up a time to talk to them on the phone about that, or you could just simply plug in right there. You can say, you know, I think you'd be really great at this. This is why. And it could solve your problem of XYZ. Was it that they needed to travel more or whatever it was? And you plug that problem in. Would you consider chatting with me about it? If I set up a time to chat with you about it, would you be willing, or whatever? So that is how I talk to people on the phone, and that's, you know, Tanasia, I mean, she ended up being a coach, and it was because we got on the phone. I don't think you'd be here if it weren't for us getting on the phone. So Callie, we got on the phone for our first challenge group. Those are Charisse, we got on the phone. Stephanie was the only one that we got on the phone once you were like, I want to be a coach. But actually, no, we did a 3-way call with your cousin. Didn't we?
No.
Oh.
We got on the phone. But
didn't we do it when she first prospected you? We didn't do a 3-way call together with. Oh,
nope, I never wanted to be under her.
We did a 3-way message with her and you and me.
Maybe I don't remember that
because she had to have introduced me to you in some way.
She just told me to follow you.
Okay. All right. So, anyways, that's great. Thank you for sharing. And anybody have comments, questions, shares around that?
I mean, I just posted in the group chat, if someone's not willing to get on the phone with me, they're not serious. And I actually talked about that on my page today, because I know Kristen's been going through a rough time where she's like, what the hell? Like, people just aren't serious, or blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, if they're not willing to get on the phone with me, like, if you don't want to get on the phone with the person that's trying to help you, you're not that serious and you are not ready yet. Like, I'm the person that's going to give you all your answers, and you don't want to talk to me, you're not ready yet. And that's okay. That's how I run. Like, I'm not just going to email you back and forth. I'm going to cut it off. Get to know you more. What is time that works for you? And I said a little bit more. Crickets. Okay. Like if she's not going to get on the phone with me, that's how I feel.
Not now list, or do you just cross them off?
I mean, I'll keep it open. I honestly don't have lists and stuff, because I'm still at a point where I have an influx of people. So if I was running out of people to talk to, yes, I would go back to that person and be like, hey, we were talking a while back and you were interested. I'm not sure what happened, but is now a better time? Yeah. But I mean, I would never shut somebody out, but I'm not going to like try and like keep badgering them and be like, hey, you still interested? Do you still want to talk? Like, no. Like, moving on. I'll find someone that does want my time and is worth my time.
All right, well, we have 3 minutes. So does anybody else want to share, ask a question, or have anything to add or subtract? I think it's still recording. Okay, good.
I had a question, Marissa.
Oh, okay.
The 7-day coaching thing that you were talking about, I missed at the beginning of the month or whatever. Is that going to be posted anywhere, or like, did you guys record with all of the top coaches and stuff? Is that going to be linked anywhere? I know I saw one of the posts that you put up, but I haven't seen any others.
If they create a document with the links to all the videos, then I'll share that with you guys.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Which I think they're planning on doing. They're collecting the information right now. So I know I didn't save my video, so, but you guys, I'm sure, have already heard that information before.
Can any active coach be in those groups, or do you have to be like Emerald and above? One of my coaches asked me. I wasn't sure.
Oh, you could have been any active coach. It wasn't Emerald. It was anybody.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay. So I know that I shared a lot about like network marketing and mindset and all those things, but at the end of the day, I remember at leadership, I ran into Carl Deichler, and I've badgered him enough where he knows who I am. He came to Miami several times, and he'd always forget my name. He wouldn't know my name. And so I was like, Marissa, it's Marissa, it's Marissa. Until finally he was like, hey, Marissa. So I actually spoke at a Super Saturday in Miami, and I shared something about, I shared like 3 top tips for like, you know, how to be successful in this business. And at the end of it, I said something along the lines of, make your why bigger than yourself. Make it including other people. So whether it's a charity, or it's that you want to buy your mom a house, or you want to get your grandfather out of debt, or you want, you know, you have medical bills for a family member, or whatever it is. So make it bigger than yourself, because that's going to drive you farther in this business than it just being about you. And he came on the stage in front of like 1,000 people and was like, well, I'm going to have to disagree with Marissa. And he was like, he called me out, and he basically said, I don't care if your why is that you want to have a jet ski. It doesn't have to be including other people. You know, you just have to find that why. And so then they changed the messaging this year, like with Beachbody. They've been like really focusing on, it's all about serving people. It's all about helping people. And I don't know that they've really changed the messaging, but that messaging has become very loud. Whereas I don't think that messaging was very loud before. I think the messaging that was very loud before was money, money, money. You can make a lot of money doing this. And I think that they've kind of reeled that back in, because that's what ultimately will get this company shut down by the FTC. Is, you know, if it's all about the opportunity and not about customers. And so they've really changed the messaging this year. So I ran into him at leadership, and I was like, hey, so I noticed that we kind of changed our messaging this year. And he was like, oh, I think it's the same. And I was like, well, I don't really think it's the same. I was like, do you remember that time that you called me out on stage and you said that your why it could be like, you want to buy a jet ski. And now you're kind of saying that it's about helping people. And he's like, no, I still stand by that it's, if somebody wants their why to be a jet ski, their why can be a jet ski. But in order to accomplish that why and to be able to buy that jet ski, they have to serve others. So they can't just be selling a product, an end goal to get the consumer to purchase. They have to put forth the effort to serve that person and have them have an incredible experience with them in order for them to get that why. And they need to understand that. It can't just be about selling. It has to be about the customer experience. And so I was like, okay, I get it. So and then he ended up calling it out again the next day when he spoke on stage. He talked about whys and how it could be if you want to own a jet ski. So it was obviously like fresh in his mind. And I thought that was funny. But my point is, I talked a lot about the fact that network marketing is a way to, you know, create an income for you to build a future for your family and yourself and whatever that is. And it can go beyond your wildest dreams. But in order for you to get there, you have to serve others. It can't just be about you. And when you make that connection and you really make it about how can I serve these people, and how can I show up as a better leader for my team, and how can I show up as a better coach for my clients, and how can I get them better results, and you make it about really serving them and not just serving your own ego, whether it's, your own ego is, I need to make a certain amount of money. I need to be a certain rank. I need to have a certain title. I need to be an all-star legend or whatever it is, you know, that's cool, but just make sure that you're tying that into serving people. And that is how you're going to be unusually successful in this business. I've done it both ways. I've done it without serving people. I've done it where it's just been about me and the Marissa show and ego driven, and it's not very fun. You might succeed and you might be successful and you might make an income, but it's not fun. The fun part becomes when you show up for other people and you lead them out of their problems and out of themselves to a better life, whether it's physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever that is. And that's the only way for you to be unusually successful in this business, is to serve others. You will have everything that you want if you help enough people get everything that they want.
I have a question about something Carl said on his live call.
Sure.
I don't know if you have any insight, but what I got from what he was saying was, you know, don't sign up a coach and just throw them into the business. Like, they obviously need to, like, you know, be a challenger in a challenge group, which is, you know, how I feel. And I kind of got from him that, you know, let them be proof the product works. Let them really feel like this works. This is something I want to be a part of. And, you know, he made it sound like, let them do that first versus like, okay, you're a coach. Okay, let's do training, blah, 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 blah. But if that's the way we're going about things, then, I mean, are we not pushing Success Club starters? I mean, I feel like that contradicts itself.
It's
like,
I do it on an individual basis. And that's what you have to choose to do as in your leadership. When you're having a conversation with someone, if I would have told you, like, you can't earn any money, you can't invite anybody to challenge groups, you just have to do the challenge group, you would have been like, I don't want to do this. You'd have been like, F you. That would not have worked for you. So
I agree. But like, the way he was saying it, it made it like seem like, don't push, like, don't do that first. You don't have to do that. So I was
just not the owner of your business. You're the owner of your business. He is just giving you whatever advice he thinks is great, but you're the owner of your business. You get to decide what you want to do and how you want to lead your people. So if you have someone who's motivated and they're all about the financial opportunity, then why wouldn't you want to allow them to invite challengers to a challenge group that you co-lead together your first month? Yeah. I get what he's saying, because a lot of people will get distracted by the money, or like that they come in for just the money and then they go into the challenge group. They don't really pay attention to it. They don't really get a good experience. They don't really engage, just because they're all about, I just want to make money. So they're like, I'm not really doing that. That's my homework. Those people aren't going to be successful in this business. But they're not going to be successful whether you make them wait a month. They're probably just not going to be successful ever. He's just basically saying, in order for someone to be a successful coach, they need to be an advocate. They need to be a lover of the product and an advocate of the product. So, you know, someone is not going to be successful if they're just doing it because they're like, yeah, I'll sell Shakeology because I want to make money. But they don't really believe in what Shakeology does, or they don't really like the way it tastes, or, you know, or they don't believe in our programs. They're like, yeah, I've never done a Beachbody workout program and I don't drink Shakeology, but I'll do this. I'll be a Beachbody coach. And just so I can make money. That's what he's saying. That's not going to work, at least not for a long term. It might work in the short term, but it's not going to work for a long term. I think you have to just be diligent and you have to listen to your intuition, whether somebody's like incubated long enough, like if they're ready to be birthed, you know, like, are they really an advocate of the product? Are they ready to move on to coaching? Because people are going to be ready at different points in time. So I think it's more individualized than just lumping it all into, like, we need to make them have a great experience and become an advocate. Yes, they need to be an advocate, but someone can be becoming an advocate while they're inviting to a challenge group like you. So anyway, it's 9:07. To honor everybody's time, I'm gonna close down this call. Thank you guys for being on. I hope that you found this helpful. Remember, every Monday at 8 p.m., we have a call. It's either a live opportunity webinar or it's a team call. If it's a live opportunity webinar, our recommendation is highly recommend for you to be on that. It's a Zoom and it's a prospecting. It's a chance for you to listen to how we share the business opportunity with people, and you can invite your prospects to it. So, you know, what I said tonight is mindset, but you need to go out there and take action and start inviting people to say yes to this incredible opportunity that we have at our fingertips. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to go out and cold call 10, 20 people and say, do you want to be a coach? But you're going to start inviting people with the mindset that you're eventually going to be leading them to saying yes or no. And eventually you'll have people on that live webinar. And if you get on it and you have your people on it and you learn how to do it, eventually you break off and you do it by yourself. But in order for you to really learn how to do it, you need to be consistent in getting on it. So treat those behind the scenes at 8 p.m. next Monday like it's a team call, and be on it and invite your prospects. And even if you don't have prospects, be on it. That's my recommendation and advice. Okay. Thanks for being on, you guys. See you later.